On Tuesday, July 20th, Jeff Bezos, the world's richest man, along with 3 other passengers strapped into their New Shepard crew capsule, pictured above, atop a rocket at Bezos' Blue Origin's launch site in rural West Texas to blast off on an 11-minute, supersonic joyride. The capsule traveled 65 miles above the desert landscape, topping out at an altitude of 351,210 feet. At the peak of the flight path, the passengers were weightless for about 3 minutes and were allowed to unstrap themselves from their seat to float around and soak in panoramic views of the Earth and the cosmos. This flight marked the first-ever crewed mission for Blue Origin's New Shepard suborbital space tourism vehicle, upon which the company plans to take wealthy thrill-seekers on high-flying journeys in the future. Riding alongside the multi-billionaire were Bezos' brother, Mark Bezos, Wally Funk, an 82-year-old pilot and one of the Mercury 13 inches women who trained to go to space in the 20th century but never got to fly, and an 18-year-old recent high school graduate named Oliver Damon who was Blue Origin's first paying customer and whose father purchased his ticket. Funk and Damon became the oldest and youngest people, respectively, ever to travel to space. Bezos founded Blue Origin in 2000, 6 years after he started Amazon, with the goal of making spaceflight more affordable and more accessible. A few of his rivals in the industry, most notably Elon Musk and Richard Branson, both started their space ventures around the same time. While the suborbital New Shepard vehicle is the first fully operational piece of space hardware the company has developed, Bezos plans to build spinning orbital space stations where people can live and work. The company is also working on a much larger rocket, called New Glenn, and a lunar lander that it hopes will be used to support NASA missions. Thus far, the reservations for a trip to space have been offered solely to participants in an auction that Blue Origin concluded last month. The auction's winner was a mystery bidder who agreed to pay $28 million for a ticket. He or she was expected to be on Tuesday's spaceflight, but the high-priced traveler had to reschedule due to scheduling conflicts. Blue Origin is planning to conduct 2 more New Shepard tourist passenger flights this year. Bezos has not indicated what Blue Origin will charge space tourists or what the Dutch 18-year-old Damon's father paid for his ticket. The company said that the auction did give a strong indication that there are plenty of people anxious to go. 7,600 people from 159 countries registered to participate in the bidding war. These early suborbital space tourism flights will be prohibitively expensive to the vast majority of people, and that's not expected to change anytime soon. Blue Origin was founded by Jeff Bezos with the vision of enabling a future where millions of people are living and working in space to benefit Earth, the company said in a press release. To preserve Earth, Blue Origin believes that humanity will need to expand, explore, find new energy and material resources, and move industries that stress Earth into space. Blue Origin is working on this today by developing partially and fully reusable launch vehicles that are safe, low-cost, and serve the needs of all civil, commercial, and defense customers. An online petition garnered more than 162,000 signatures asking for Bezos never to return to Earth. Bezos, who is worth about $200 billion, has funded the company almost solely out of his own pocket. Repeated promises of benevolence and benefit to a ravaged Earth has critics concerned that the ultra-wealthy view outer space as their own personal escape hatch. They are largely right. Bezos told CNN's Rachel Crane of critics who say billionaires should focus their energy, and money, on issues closer to home. We have to do both. We have lots of problems here and now on Earth and we need to work on those, and we always need to look to the future. We've always done that as a species, as a civilization. But regarding his sojourn to space on Tuesday, Bezos declared it the best day ever. Jeff Bezos, the world's richest man, went to space and back Tuesday morning on an 11-minute, supersonic joyride aboard the rocket and capsule system developed by his space company, Blue Origin. Riding alongside the multi-billionaire were Bezos' brother, Mark Bezos, Wally Funk, an 82-year-old pilot and one of the Mercury 13 inches women who trained to go to space in the 20th century but never got to fly, and an 18-year-old recent high school graduate named Oliver Damon who was Blue Origin's first paying customer and whose father, an investor, purchased his ticket. Funk and Damon became the oldest and youngest people, respectively, ever to travel to space. And this flight marked the first ever crewed mission for Blue Origin's New Shepard suborbital space tourism rocket, which the company plans to use to take wealthy thrill-seekers on high-flying joyrides in the months and years to come. The 4 passengers on Tuesday strapped into their New Shepard crew capsule at Blue Origin's launch site in rural West Texas just before the rocket lit its engines at 8:12 a.m. Central Time, sending the vehicle blaring past the speed of sound and up to more than 65 miles above the desert landscape, topping out at an altitude of 351,210 feet. At the peak of the flight path, the passengers were weightless for about 3 minutes and were allowed to unstrap themselves from their seat to float around and soak in panoramic views of the Earth and the cosmos. The launch was visible to reporters on the ground, with the rocket streaking across the almost cloudless Texas sky with a blooming contrail. The bright blaze of the rocket engine looked almost like a star or planet as it rose into the sky. Bezos and crew could be heard on Blue Origin's livestream cheering as they moved about the capsule during the microgravity portion of the flight. "It's dark up here, oh my word." Funk could be heard saying. Bezos declared it the best day ever on his communications check upon landing.
Senator Ron Johnson blasts Biden for policies that divide nation. The latest video will be shown earlier at the official website restoredrepublic.co. Senator Ron Johnson, RWIS, on Sunday slammed President Joe Biden for further dividing the nation. In an interview on Fox News, Sunday Morning Futures, Johnson railed at administration policies that have emphasized spending and weakened the military. "You talked about a divided nation. He should stop dividing the nation, and he's done nothing to unify and heal the nation," as he said in his inaugural address, Johnson charged. "We need a strong America, and you don't strengthen America by weakening it with massive debt and newest entitlements, more deficit spending," he added. "We have to concentrate on having a powerful military, and the Biden administration is doing everything that they can to weaken the military." According to Johnson, reducing the military and the Department of Homeland Security from a budget standpoint only weakens U.S. standing in the world. Crawling back with a deal with Iran, what he's doing in Afghanistan, the travesty that's going to create, he's showing weakness globally, and our adversaries know that and they will act on that, Johnson warned. The senator also railed at the lack of transparency about what China knows about both Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's business dealings. "That's the $64,000 question," he said, calling the Biden's dealings a vast web of foreign financial entanglements with China. Senator Charles Grassley, R. Iowa, requested Secret Services records from 2009 and 2014. The day after a Time magazine article was published talking about Ukraine company, Burisma, and Biden supposedly ended the Secret Services protection, Johnson said. "The agencies are covering for the Bidens, and they have always been covering for them even though he ended Secret Service protection," he charged. Johnson weighed in on the bipartisan infrastructure effort, but said he doesn't understand it. "I don't understand why any Republican would cooperate with them in passing this reckless spend and tax spree," he said. "What they are doing by pulling out the infrastructure, the thing that everybody agrees on, that's going to create a hole the Democrats will fill with more entitlement spending. I don't know why any Republican would cooperate with that." Source: Newsmax.com. The Democrats' philosophy is America last, former President Donald Trump tells Newsmax. "Look at what's happening with Russia," he told Newsmax's Benny Johnson before his keynote speech at the day-long Rally to Save Our Elections event in Phoenix on Saturday. "Look at what's happening with China. Look what's happening with Iran. Iran would have had a deal with us within a week. I would have completed a deal with Iran. Now they're asking for money. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen." Trump also talked about the U.S. Olympics team after some members would not respect the flag or the national anthem. "I think they're disgraceful," he said. "I think woke is really a loser's philosophy. Take a look at what's happening to the women's soccer team. They lost to Sweden. Woke means lose. The sad part is the Americans are rooting for the opponent. They don't like these people. They don't like what they saw happening." Some of the women stood up proudly. "It wasn't all of them. The others should never disrespect our flag or our country." Trump also commented on the ongoing argument between Senator Rand Paul, R.K., and Dr. Anthony Fauci, and the senator's call for an investigation on the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. "Rand has been very strong on Fauci," said Trump. "I thought Fauci did a great job. Everything he said, I did the opposite. I did right on just about all of it. And when asked if he'd rather run against Biden or Vice President Kamala Harris in 2024, the former president pointed to polls showing Biden's ratings low. "You're looking at the same polls I'm looking at," he said. "They're vicious people. They'll do anything to stop it. They want to stop the MAGA movement. They'll do anything." Source: Newsmax.com. The latest video will be shown earlier at the official website restoredrepublic.co.
Thank you for your support. The content we do is quite sensitive, so it is not possible to monetize social media platforms. Visit restoredrepublic.co to watch our latest videos and become a $3 monthly supporter. We can't afford to keep making this show without your support. Visit the link below the description or go to website restoredrepublic.co, then select Support Us. Click PayPal or fill out the form to become a supporter.